You're listening to the audio-only version of the podcast. If you'd like to see more visual gags and funnies, visit lightscameranonsense.com. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by patreon.com/lightscameranonsense. Visit patreon.com/lightscameranonsense to help support your favorite new movie podcast. Now, let's get started. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Lights, Camera, Nonsense. I already fucked it up. I need to memorize this. Eventually, I will memorize this. Shut up. It's a
good start.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Lights, Camera, Nonsense, where we give you all the latest movie magic you may have missed. I'm Nick. Hold on. Hold on, I got something.
You can do it. I believe in you.
I'm Nick.
Wow, this is a lot of build-up. This is so much build-up.
I'll be right back. Hold on.
Where are you going? Okay. Guess you're done. That's fine. Nick. Hello?
My name is Destiny. What can I get started for you?
All right, thank you. Simmons.
And I'm Zach, slightly confused Smith.
And on Saturday, August 29th, let's roll into the previews. Zach, what have you been watching?
So I didn't watch a whole lot this go around. So I guess I'll just start off with the positive in that I watched the first episode of Lovecraft Country.
Oh, okay, cool. The hit, or the brand new hit show on HBO Max. Yeah. So what'd you think?
Yeah, it was great. I'm definitely on board. I haven't watched the second episode yet because I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for the next couple episodes to drop first. That way I can, knock a couple out at once. Because after I was done with the first one, I was like, man, I really want more. So if I'm gonna have to do this every week and wait in between, this is gonna be fucking brutal. So maybe I'll just space it out, wait till the halfway mark, then watch those, and then wait for the other half to finish and watch those. But yeah, great stuff. Definitely enjoyed every minute of the first episode. Journey Smollett is amazing. There's Letitia fucking Lewis. I'm definitely down for
her real middle name. I can say that yes, I also watched episode 1 and episode 2. So I'm going the opposite way of watching it and just kind of watching it week to week. The second episode definitely. You actually picked a good time to just go, I'm going to wait and binge them, because the second episode definitely goes a different route than I thought it was going to go. So
steps back a little bit.
No. It goes in a different direction. And there's a lot happens in episode 2 to where I don't have any clue what's going to happen in episode 3 and onward. So
all right. Well.
That's just I agree. It's also a great show, I should say. I watched both, and they were both fantastic from beginning to end. I think the cinematography, the music, the acting, I was genuinely terrified before even any sort of monster showed up about this world. And that's of how real it is. That's
kind of the tagline, right? Like, what's the real monster? I think this is actually in a press release, so I'm not taking credit for it, even if it's, you don't really have to stretch your head that much to come up with it, but racism is the real monster.
Yeah,
Which,
and
I mean,
it's
yeah,
supposed to take,
that is what it is.
it takes this real world sort of lens and puts a little bit. It sprinkles in a little bit of Lovecraft and a little bit of Cthulhu mythos into that world, and so it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, it bridges the gap
story
between those. There's this, at least with the first episode, there's a kind of an ongoing theme of like, you only believe, or you're like, your belief in something is your willingness to accept that it exists. To paraphrase.
Yeah.
So like, is my camera still doing that?
It is. Your camera is flickering pretty crazy now. Is your phone still plugged in?
Yeah, I'll try unplugging it.
It seems like you're getting hacked by like a 1990s Hugh Jackman.
I'll see what that does. Man, like this camera just decides. I was fine until I restarted the computer like a couple days ago.
Yeah.
And then it just like decides whenever the input is going to read correctly. Anyway, yeah, so it has that bridging theme between like the Lovecraft influence and then the actual, like race
real
relation.
world history of of the United States. Yeah.
Just out of Jim Crow and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, definitely excited to watch more for sure.
It's
and
the
then
new hit show.
Yes, definitely. No, you're good. And then piggybacking off of that, I did not intend to do this. I just decided to watch this movie, which just so happens to have Journey Smollett in it. I watched Birds of Prey.
Ah, yeah, because that popped up on HBO Max recently as well.
It did, yes. And I was like, I haven't seen this, and Suicide Squad is one of the only DC movies at this point that I've watched. So I guess I'm all right to, even though they're tangentially connected, it's
very, very, very loosely connected.
Yes,
like,
yeah. I did like the bit where she's in the police station, and she sees a picture of Captain Boomerang on the wall. She's like, "Yeah, I know that guy."
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It'll be even weirder. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. It'll be even weirder when they try to connect, and if they do, Birds of Prey to the Suicide Squad when it eventually comes out, because you have to try to figure out what's canon and what isn't between Suicide Squad, Birds of Prey, fucking Batman v Superman. Technically,
we'll get into this a little bit on the news docket, but yeah, it's a bit of a mess. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll get into it later.
Yeah, so I guess going into the movie itself, I have to say, coming away from it, I don't think I'm as anti Birds of Prey movie or Fantabulous Emancipation as you came off of it. I don't think it's like the best movie. I was just, frankly, I was just kind of like sitting there through the entire thing. Like there wasn't a moment where I was like, "Oh yeah, this is really fun," Unless, again, I really enjoyed Journey Smollett as Dina or Black Canary. I really wish there was more of her in it, frankly, and less Harley Quinn, as it were. But
there was
we get to the
biggest complaint,
to the crux of the issue where you're making a Birds of Prey movie and then focusing on one character who's an offshoot of a bad movie.
Yeah, two bad movies.
Yeah. Well, what other movie was she in?
Well, she was cameoed in Batman v Superman.
Oh, she was?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that, so how would I know?
Sorry. Pretty sure. Wasn't she?
I know in the trailers there's a shot of like the Robin suit with the Joker's ha 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 or whatever all over it.
It wasn't just
insinuating that he killed Robin.
She's been in one other one. It was Suicide Squad. It was I don't know. I could have
I
sworn.
mean, it had to have been Batman versus Superman or Justice League because I can't imagine she was in Wonder Woman.
I'm thinking of the scene. I'm thinking of the scene in Suicide Squad where Batman shows up. So I had it flipped. Batman cameos in Suicide Squad because he punches her in the face.
Yeah.
Good times.
So yeah, this movie was very much like it's fine. I don't know if I'd ever watch it again, but I didn't come away from it feeling like I wasted my time or anything.
What did you think of Ewan McGregor?
It was fine. It's a different take on the character, and he's like chewing up the scenery the entire time, and I always like to see that. Like, people just kind of go off the walls with it. Same with Margot Robbie. You know what you're getting, especially if you've seen Suicide Squad, because she's doing the exact same thing here. Just a more centralized focus. Although she was pretty much the focus of that movie too, so I don't know. I would probably say the biggest detriment to the film is probably the script. It's very by the numbers, despite the fact that the direction is like showing you all these like, look how crazy and wacky we are, and it's just kind of like whatever. And I am totally blanking on her name, but the cop.
Renee Montoya, played by Rosie Perez.
Yes, Rosie Perez, yeah. She is fucking useless in this movie. She gets her ass kicked for 2 hours straight. Yeah. She has no scene in which her character is redeemed at all as a fighter, except for the very last one, in which I think she knocks out like 2 guys.
Yeah. She's actually a more effective cop in Pineapple Express. Yeah. She's a crooked cop in that one. So.
Yeah. It was just a little ridiculous how they kept propping her up as like this like obstacle that kept getting in the way, and literally every scene she's in, she's getting her ass handed to her.
Big pushover. Yeah.
Which I think is a real missed opportunity, because you have the built-in story of like her partner like going over her and like taking credit for this big break-in case. So she's still pulling like detective duty, and he's like the captain of the police force or whatever, and you know, like there's this undertone of like, oh yeah, Gotham police is really fucked and corrupt, and they don't really touch on that quite so much. So
she didn't really get that much character development to begin with. Most of the characters that weren't Harley Quinn didn't. Like,
and I would even that was like, it's a very one note character, to the point where like you get to the final scene and like everybody's kind of acting like, oh yeah, we've been through all this stuff together and we know each other, and like they're doing jabs at one another. Like, you literally just fucking met like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah,
like,
they become best friends immediately.
Even Black Canary, who again I thoroughly enjoyed. She's like looking over to Huntress and she's like, I like this chick. She's like fucking angry, and like, you literally just met her 5 minutes ago.
You don't know anything about her.
No one knows her except that she just showed up in this scene. And okay, I guess we're teaming up. And Cassandra Cain is I'm sure plenty of people have gone in depth on each character. And even Gail Simone, the writer of one of the more popular Birds of Prey comics, this was her one gripe with the movie, is Cassandra Cain is not the same, like the legit character that she is from the books. But you know, there's room for different interpretations, and I guess if you want to have this character be called that, that's fine, but it's just not, it's not Batwoman or Batgirl when you're going into it. So.
No, but I don't think a lot of people going into this movie were expecting to connect it to any specific Birds of Prey storyline or comic book storyline or anything like that. Like, I think everybody, for the most part, you know, even with the terrible movie name that they had before they replaced it, you know, Fantabulous Emancipation of Harley Quinn, to just
Birds of Prey. It's funny because technically that's the second name change. The original name was Birds of Prey, then they changed it to Fantabulous Emancipation of Harley Quinn, which I believe it's still called technically, but a couple theater chains were like, we got to shorten that because it won't fit on the marquee.
It's just Birds of Prey / Harley Quinn.
I think it's Harley Quinn,
and the Birds of Prey,
or : Birds of Prey. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
something.
They
like
were
that.
right with the second name change because it was mostly all about Harley Quinn, and Birds of Prey were like, hey, let's just put him in there because we don't think Harley Quinn can actually hold up her own movie and have it all be about her.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Which we'll never be able to see because every movie that she's in, she's constantly in an ensemble cast. So,
yeah, this is probably about as close as you're gonna get.
Yeah,
this basically is the Harley Quinn movie, just with a couple of supporting characters, which again is fine. I didn't hate it. I liked some things here and there, and I thought the fight choreography, depending on the character in the scene, was generally okay. I was pretty bored with Harley's stuff because it's like hit him with a bat. That's basically what she does the entire time until, again, the very final showdown. And it's like, I get why you hold all your tricks for your climax, right? Because you want to make that stand out more. But at the same time, if like one of your two of your big fight scenes actually is Montoya just getting, again, her ass kicked by Harley, and Harley's just hitting her with a bat or whatever, doing like a couple cartwheels, and like it gets kind of old, or not old, I guess. It's just like it's not very interesting in terms of choreography. But like Journey Smollett has some great, very brief fight scenes in which the choreography was much better. Because it's like actual martial arts, and maybe that's showing my bias in terms of interest. But I don't know. I just found myself more gravitating towards her story and her her scene's direction than anything else. So I know this, like, saying this is basically how we got here. But hey, I wouldn't mind Black Canary film because off a Suicide Squad, I never really like. Yeah, Margot did a pretty good job with Harley in that, and she was entertaining. But I didn't come away with that with the way some people did, thinking like that was earth shattering, and I'd love to see more of that. That was the most fine part of that movie, with that movie being awful. So I guess that's a bonus, but
well, it's trying to find a diamond in the rough. It's trying to find the small glimmering good parts of a movie that you committed yourself to watching. Yeah.
But I actually really enjoyed pretty much all Black Canary's stuff in this. So
right, and when it comes to the stunt choreography, I think there comes a decision at the very beginning of production where they have to decide: are we going to get stunt doubles to do the action choreography for them, or should we have the actors try to learn the stunt choreography and do it? And it's very easy to tell which is which when it comes to the final result of the film, and I think it kind of shows with this movie. Even with the Journey Smollett choreography, there may have been that scene where she committed to that fight choreography, and it shows. But with like the ensemble, when they're fighting a whole bunch of bad guys in like the funhouse part,
or whatever,
it's very easy. Like they're barely punching them.
Yeah, like it's nothing like exceptional. Like a couple of them are on like tripwires, or not tripwires, but what do you call those? The wires that trapeze artists will go on.
The ones that basically pull you in. Yeah. Oh well. Yeah. It's a comic book movie,
I did get quite a bit of a chuckle out of the way Black Mask ends up dying. So.
Yeah. It's a very funny way to die.
He's got it well. Specifically, Ewan McGregor's facial reaction to that he like literally screeches. So that was probably the funniest part of the movie for me, I guess.
The very, very end. Yeah. All right. Well, if you haven't already seen it, Birds of Prey is now on HBO Max.
Yeah. So. And that's it for me. So, what did you watch?
Wow, what have you done with your life? You're not watching clearly enough.
Clearly.
You need
it's funny too, because we ended the last episode, the one that got lost, and I specifically said to you, you know what I think I'm going to do for the next episode is I'm only going to watch television shows, because I have so much to catch up on. There's so much out. I still need to finish Watchmen. And like I just really need to sit down and like buckle through it, and then I did not do that.
Did not do it. No,
in fact, In fact, the one TV show I watched, I made a point to go, I am only watching this one episode and then I'm leaving.
because I because I want to binge it and I want to make sure I do it the right way. All right, well, I can tell you that not only did I watch, I finished an entire series,
Nice.
or caught up to it at least from episode 1 all the way to the finale of season 3. Although there's kind of a caveat to that.
Okay.
Started a show with the intent of watching multiple episodes, but because there was a free weekend for it, but because it was on Peacock, I missed it, and so I only watched the first episode. And then I watched a bunch of movies. Oh, and one Netflix anime show, which I highly, highly, highly recommend, Zach, to you personally.
Let's start there. What
you want to start there?
Are you shoving off to me?
I'm shoving it off to you. I'm really think that you would like the aesthetic to it. Maybe the animation might catch your eye, but
I am a man that loves his aesthetics.
Yes.
No aesthetic in particular, just aesthetics in general. I'm like, yes, that does look.
Yes, that does look. Is Great Pretender on Netflix. This actually premiered last week. It is the story of a young con artist who gets roped into another con artist scheme as they travel the globe and con big marks. So it follows this Japanese, not teenager, but like in his mid-20s kind of thing, and he's the greatest con man in Japan, and until he gets conned by a foreigner who he ends up following to America. And this is only the first arc. It's only like a couple of episodes per arc because it's each arc. Mm-hmm. Get out of my life, Alexa. All right, we're good. Really should close that door. But it's animated by Wit Studio, who is very prominent in creating Netflix anime shows. You may know them from BNA, or they've been transferring over other shows. I think Gurren Lagann they remastered for Netflix, or like they moved it over to Netflix. Hold on, I gotta look that up. But it's got a very Did you ever see the movie Matchstick Men?
I did, yes.
It's Matchstick Men. Because there's also a female character that is an accomplice to the blah blah blah, the foreigner's character.
Really?
The blah blah blah. Yeah.
Sound like the Undertaker?
Yes. They're also known for Attack on Titan. They've partnered with production IG as well.
So they have a pretty decent pedigree.
Yes. Seraph of the End, Cabinery of the Iron Fortress, which I like, Ancient Magus Bride, Vinland Saga, which is really, really good. But Great Pretender. Also, the end credits song is The Great Pretender by Freddie Mercury, so...
Really?
It's Queen, yeah.
That's funny. That's like hearing Roundabout at the end of JoJo.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
Yeah.
But the opening theme will remind you of Cowboy Bebop. It's got that cool jazzy feel to it, and I really like the characters. I like the characters. I like the plot of conning a mark and having it expand over several episodes, almost to where it's like a movie length of like 3 or 4 episodes, and then they move on to a different country because for reasons. Right. Really interesting cast of characters, and I recommend it.
Cool.
Great Pretender.
I'll have to look it up.
What else did I? So I also watched Lovecraft Country, but we talked about that before.
Mm-hmm.
I also watched and finished, this is that show, Infinity Train on HBO Max.
Yeah. So you texted me about this I think it was last week. Might have been the week before. And I have this on my list too. I just haven't pulled the trigger on it. So you want to explain kind of what the premise is?
So it is a animated... I wouldn't say children's. It's not marketed as such, but it's
like Adventure Time.
Yeah,
sort of
it's
stuff.
kind of it's got that kind of teenage, but it's got adult themes to it. An American animated comedy drama anthology television series is what Wikipedia is telling me. Created by Owen Dennis, previously a writer and storyboard artist for Regular Show, and you can kind of see some of the art similarities between this and other Cartoon Network shows. For the first 2 seasons, again, anthology series, first 2 seasons, they were both on Cartoon Network, and season 3 is on HBO Max. All of it is on HBO Max, but you can watch the first two from Cartoon Network. The great thing about it being an anthology series is that it's a very contained story in that season. It's only 10 episodes each.
And they're 15 minutes, yeah?
Like 11 to 12 minutes each.
Yeah.
So it's like about a 2-hour season altogether. And it's got a really great premise when it comes to the story. So for the first arc, I'll just talk about the first arc. It follows a teenager who wants to go to this like video game camp, like where she can learn how to make video games. But her parents are going through a divorce and they're trying to juggle like who's going to take her, and she has family issues. Mm-hmm. So she runs away to try to go to the video game computer camp on her own, and ends up running into this train that comes out of nowhere. So she boards the train and finds out that this train is infinite, much like the title.
Right. She will go into each car and it'll be like a different kind of biome, I guess. Is that right?
Biome, or I don't want to say dimension because they're all like contained and everything. But yeah, they all have their own worlds in them, basically. Mm. And some of them have puzzles, some of them have characters she has to interact with. But she basically tries to get off of the train so that she can get home. But there's a catch. You have a number on your hand, and the higher the number is, you come to learn, is the further you are from becoming your best self. So you need to lower your number in order to get the exit off of the train. So until then, you're stuck there.
So it's kind of a mix between that specific Adventure Time episode in which they get stuck on the train and like the world ends with you, only you don't die when your clock runs out.
Exactly. Or About Time, starring
Donald Gleason, rather.
Oh, that's not About Time. I'm sorry. Fuck.
In Time?
In Time. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. With
Justin Timberlake one?
Yeah, not About Time. Those
are two very different movies.
They both have time in the title, all right? And they're very, very similar when it comes to that, all right?
Yeah.
They both involve time. Time passes from the beginning of the movie to the end, all right? I know all about this.
This
Time
just
Wizard.
in Clock Stoppers is the same thing as Primer, because they both deal with time.
Back to the Future is the same as that one movie where the guy murders people and time travels. I'll show you the poster. I can't remember the name of it. Time Travel. No, it's really wonderfully animated. There's a lot of heart-wrenching moments in there. There's very adult themes when it comes to what is it? I had it written down. There's a specific word when you are trying to describe how to be your best self.
Self-actualization?
Not, well, in a way, but like how to become your best self in order to be happy. Like how to be your happiest self. There's an actual Greek word for it. Anyway, I'll literally put it in the video, but because it's gonna bother me if I don't. It's a great show. Like I said, it's an anthology series. It gets steadily better. Like there is a character introduced in season 2 that will show up in season 3, and that guy's an asshole for people who have watched and have caught up. However, I should say, while we're recording this, it's in trouble of getting canceled because of basically the same reasons that Netflix cancels a lot of its shows after season 1, 2, 3. Not as many people are watching it, or it doesn't think that it's pulling enough viewers in, and so they're thinking of canceling a lot of HBO Max is thinking of canceling a lot of its content, or HBO, not HBO Max. So if you watch the show and like the show, then retweet about the show. That's how you save shows. Also, magic. So another thing that I watched. Let's get more serious. Let's bring it down. All right.
Yes. Grave.
Ninjas.
That is serious. Deadly serious.
Okay, do you remember the movie Ninja Assassin?
Yes, I do.
I watched Ninja Assassin.
Have you seen it before?
No, I had seen it before. But last time I saw it was in the movie theater, and that was like 2009.
Yeah. That's the one where he has like the little chain hook thing, yeah?
It's lit. Yes, it's got like the little claw on it, and it's on a chain, and he whips it around and stuff. He also used other weapons. He used swords and guns and shit. But
that's the one on the poster because he's like it's quarter of his body, and he's like got it down on.
Yeah, it's got like it's like a kunai or whatever the fucking Naruto
sickle
throws. Yeah, but it's basically 300, but ninjas. Like you get the same zoom in, zoom out, and slow motion shots. The blood is very fake. It's like I don't know, motion graphics 101 type of thing, but it's glorious.
For it was.
Please do. I know that it was high. It was very high because it was produced by the Wachowskis and directed by the guy James McTeague, who directed V for Vendetta 4 years prior. So, if you're in for a fun, very silly, it takes itself serious, but that shouldn't take you out of the movie. It's a very fun and engaging ninja action movie, and there's a lot of gore. There's a lot of gore.
And the lead is like some
Rain.
J-pop star, is that right? Yeah.
Rain, yeah.
Yeah.
He's not the best actor, but he's also not an actor. So,
well, he was an actor, yeah. So.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
You get what you pay for. And
okay.
guess who's in it? Naomi Harris from James Bond.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's the main lead.
Budget was $40 million. Do you want to guess what box office was?
26.
Nope.
Was it
it's
much
above?
Holy fuck!
It's a profit. Yeah.
Wait, profit in that you doubled the
profit?
Budget?
No. Profit just in terms of it made more than its budget, but that's discounting
marketing,
marketing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
No, its box office was $61.6 million.
So they broke even basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds about right. Can you look up V for Vendetta as well and see how it did? I assume it did better because it's a more well-known property. Like, this was an original property, I'm pretty sure.
Can I make a confession, which will...
You're going to say you've never seen it.
No. It will darken my everyone's view of me in terms of comic book nerd culture, I suppose. I do not like V for Vendetta.
That's fine. No, I don't think that
just
doesn't
did
change
not
my
enjoy
opinion.
it was kind of a bland movie for me. Let's see, budget. Look at that.
But yeah, Ninja Assassin, if you want to watch it, is on Netflix.
V for Vendetta's box office stake was considerably larger than Ninja Assassin.
That's what I thought.
Go figure. Budget was $54 million, and its box office haul was $132.5.
Wow! So a success for the studio, but I'm pretty sure Alan Moore, in his grumpy old bearded self, is like,
well, he's always like that.
Yeah. Well, he's wrong for the most part because most of his properties, when adapted to screen, have been successful. From Hell, notwithstanding. Yeah. So another Netflix movie I watched, I was just fucking sprinting across Netflix. I watched Apostle.
Okay.
Directed by Gareth Evans and starring
yes.
the guest. What's his name? Beast. What's his name?
Dan Stevens?
Dan Stevens, thank you. He was in fucking Legion. He's the main character in Legion. Go ahead.
Yeah, this was another one that you texted me about, to which I also responded like, yeah, that one's been... I'm pretty sure this has been on my Netflix queue for like 6 years at this point.
it came out like 2 years ago. Like October of like 2019.
No way.
October 2019. Look it up. Directly to Netflix.
Apostle. Feels like it's been so much longer.
It does, yeah. Well, that's this year for you.
September 2018.
Okay.
So
I was off by a year and a month.
Yeah.
But still 2 years as opposed to 6.
It feels like it's been forever.
Yeah. Directed by Gareth Evans of The Raid fame, if you want to follow because of that. It follows Dan Stevens as a brother worried about his sister who has been kidnapped by a cult, basically, on an island off the coast of Wales. So I was actually going to compare it to Midsommar. It's in the same vein of very slow burn horror. There are some supernatural elements to it. There is some very grotesque body horror to it.
I mean, you can tell that from the bump alone.
Yeah.
Like, I would not imagine you should watch this if you're very squeamish.
Exactly.
For movie violence.
But I gotta say that the Michael Sheen is in it as well as one of the main characters. There's great acting in it. Give me 1 second. Let me replace my headphones because these are technically Bluetooth headphones and they're dying.
Oh, fun.
So vamp for me.
I want to suck your love.
I can't hear you, but I can pretty much tell that your vamping sucks.
I do the same joke every time, and it never gets old for me. So I feel like, what else would I be on a podcast for if not to entertain myself, and definitely not anyone else. Oh,
whatever you're saying, it's not good enough. Hi, Casey. All right, we're back. We're back in
was that DreamWorks dinosaur movie?
The fuck are you talking about?
We're back. You've seen We're Back, right?
Oh yeah, and that's not DreamWorks. No, I think
what
that's
is
not
it?
even
Is it Don
Disney.
Bluth?
I don't think that's
Is
even
it Don Bluth?
It might be. We're back.
Man, that's a great movie. Go watch We're Back.
No, I remember that movie being fucking terrible.
No, I'm not even joking. That is a great movie, and fuck you for saying it isn't.
It's an amblimation. It's Steven Spielberg's Amblin Entertainment. They had an animation.
It's got a
studio.
38 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. So who's the fucking asshole now? Not this guy.
Everyone else.
Everyone else.
It's everyone else's. It's everyone else's problem.
It's not me.
Okay, hold on.
It's not me.
Hold on. 6.1 on IMDb out of 10, right? 38 on Rotten Tomatoes. 83% of Google users liked it, so,
They also love Google Plus, so they can go to hell.
I don't even think that's a thing anymore, is it?
It's not. No, they shut it down.
Yeah.
Apostle, great. It's a good horror movie, but it's yeah. Let's just fucking dial it back. It's great. It's if you're in the mood for a good horror movie with great atmosphere. It is a little bit long. I think that they could cut out like just a little bit of the middle, where it was the slow burn was getting a little too slow. But once,
like, can you add another match to this or something?
It's kind of like a gust of wind can blow this thing out. I mean,
throw some wood on the fire.
A little dry wood. Come on, man.
I'm just picturing like a James Bond style plot in which like James Bond is like literally on a funeral pyre or something, but he's still alive. And
dear God.
Why
James Bond?
I don't know. Like, it's the same thing as like him being on a conveyor belt towards a saw.
Oh, no, I was thinking like you could use any other character that has died in a funeral pyre in any sort of media.
I don't think James Bond has ever died on a funeral pyre. So, like, that's not the point.
I'm
just picturing him. I don't know.
No, he hasn't.
I'm just saying that's what I picture. I'm picturing Dr. No going over to James Bond, who's like being burned alive or attempting to be burned alive, but it's going really slowly. So James is like, "Hey, can you like
hurry it up?
Speed this up, or
can you hurry up and speed this up? I'm Sean Connery, Dr. No." That was bad. I'm sorry.
We gotta get this thing on the move here.
Yeah. So hey, the next thing that I watched was Reign of Fire. And I'm actually going to talk...
God, why? The Christian Bale one with the dragons?
For the audio listeners, I'm pointing at Zach.
I have something in my eye, sorry.
I'm
sorry to all the video viewers that are like, why does he keep touching his eyeball? It's because I have something in my eye. I'm very sorry.
It's a pink eye. He's gross. He's done. Pink eye. No, I watched Reign of Fire. And you know what? When was the last time you watched Reign of Fire?
When it came out in like 2003, right?
2002, but yes.
Probably then. I think I watched it. Maybe not then because I didn't see it in theaters, but
when you were 12 years old, yeah.
I'm pretty sure I watched that on VHS.
Yeah, that would have been back in the day, right before DVD. But no, that was right during DVD.
Fuck. I just remembered how I watched Reign of Fire. I rented the VHS from Blockbuster.
Oh, how dated that comment is.
If that does not age me.
We're both old. We're both the same age. But yeah, no, if you rewatch it, there are small CGI moments in it where you're like, that's early 2000s CG, but everything else about it is a pretty fucking good movie. Like, just overall, compared to a lot of the movies that have come out, I would much rather watch Reign of Fire 5 times in a row as opposed to Birds of Prey.
Wow. So you know what your middle name next week has to be, right? Instead of doing the weird...
Is it Van
whatever
Sam?
the hell it was
Matthew
this time?
His character's name.
No, it's got to be Nick, Reign of Fire, Stan Simmons.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's fine. Yeah. It's a good movie, but
no, you literally just said I would rather watch Reign of Fire 5 times in a row,
as opposed to Birds of Prey. Yes, a lot of the movies coming out recently, I would disregard as opposed to
early 2000s. Okay, boomer.
Early 2000s action cinema is far greater than action movies or even most comic book movies nowadays. So. There you go. A good old-fashioned Viking-looking Matthew McConaughey as opposed to the Matthew McConaughey we got last year from Serenity. Yes. Also, Christian Bale and Gerard Butler are in this. So,
it's very true.
It's a very hunky movie. He dies horrifically.
Yeah, is he the one that literally has no plan at all and jumps towards the dragon?
Matthew McConaughey, yes. We're just going to go ahead and spoil Reign of Fire. Matthew McConaughey is like...
What was his plan?
He's distracting the dragon, so Christian Bale can fire him a grenade with his crossbow at it. But he knows that the dragon is coming for him, and he missed his shot, so he's like, fuck it. Jumps at him with an axe. It's a cool shot, except they blur his face with the slow motion. He immediately dies. And then immediately gets crushed and, drops his axe. And then Christian Bale kills the dragon and saves the day.
It's the bad guy.
The bad guy is the dragon. So earlier in the movie, I meant dies horrifically is Gerard Butler's character, who does nothing. He's only the best friend to Christian Bale, and he's like, "Hey, I'm your best friend, and I say snarky things, and I'm Gerard Butler. You don't know who I am. I haven't been in 2007's 300 yet."
The script is amazing.
Thank you. But. So the castle that they've been living in for years and years and years.
Is this the castle?
The castle. This is the castle.
Bradford Castle.
It's a pretty small castle. It's the post-apocalyptic year of 2020 when the movie takes place. No, seriously, 2020. Yeah. And anyway, they've been attacked by the main dragon that they have to kill in order to wipe them all out. And so the whole castle's ablaze, and you're like, this is made of stone. How is it on fire? Well, there's still wood in there, so that catches fire. And everybody's died, and most of the castle's collapsed. Well, here's the thing. There's still people up in the top area, and Christian Bale's like, I'll go get him. And Gerard Butler's like, no, I'll go get him. I haven't done anything this whole movie. So he gets a bucket of water.
Signifying that he's about to fucking die.
He gets one bucket of water, goes out the door, and then they hear like a scream and a roar, and then fire comes down the staircase. Gerard Butler looks back at Christian Bale, and Christian Bale's like, no! And then the door closes on its own from, like, wind or some shit. And so you immediately think, he burns to death with one bucket of water trying to save everybody. Fuck you, Gerard Butler.
I'm giving you a hard time. You're turning me around on it.
It's a pretty fucking good movie, man. Like, there's a whole scene. There's, like, a good 5-minute scene where they have, like, those sugar glider suits. You know, from
Y and the YMCA?
YMCA. No, the sugar glider suits that you jump out of, like, airplanes or helicopters for.
Yeah, the thing that literally made me laugh hysterically at the end of the third Transformers movie because it came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
They're fucking doing the Halo jumps.
You say that. I was actually thinking of the Godzilla movie where it's actually used well.
Yes.
It's actually... literally the exact same thing, only they're trying to fight a dragon by shooting nets at it while falling through the sky. And they manage to capture it for a second, and then they see the nets like fly past them, and they're like, oh shit, where did the dragon go? And then the dragon immediately eats one, and it's just fantastic. It's a good movie. Reign of Fire, all right? It's
good.
It's a good movie compared to Birds of Prey, yeah.
Hold on. Now I gotta look, because we did this with We're Back, right?
Yeah.
So I can't be the only one that has egg on my face.
Okay.
I gotta drag you down with me. Reign of Fire.
I will leave this empty air in.
Actually somehow has a better Metacritic score.
Vindication! You feel so good!
It's a 6.2 on IMDb, 42% on Rotten Tomatoes,
Aw, yeah.
39% on Metacritic, and I believe this is the same percentage as We're Back, but 84% on Google.
Google doesn't know shit, all right? We've established this with 2 movies now that Google users don't know anything, including me and you.
There's 2 people who use Google reviews, and they both have the same.
It's always 5 stars.
Taste.
It's always 5 stars. Yeah, 2 brothers. Yeah, and then the last thing that I watched is Brave New World.
The Peacock.
Yes.
New show or whatever.
Yes. So I only watched episode 1. I meant to watch more episodes, but I was falling asleep because it was pretty late. They had it for the whole weekend, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But I decided not to continue watching it because it was a little slow, and I wanted to, play some video games and enjoy my weekend. Didn't want to contain my whole weekend of Brave New Worlds as much as I love Ulrich Sen. Han Solo, young Han Solo. So
or Hail Caesar.
The only 2 movies he's been in, I think. Pretty good. It's got the second largest orgy in television history. So, in the first episode,
that makes sense with the content.
Yeah, considering the
adapting.
story. No, but it was just an orgy out of nowhere. It threw me off. But yeah,
that's the book. Yeah,
they've taken some liberty. It's been a while. It was freshman year or sophomore year that we had to read it. We went to the same high school.
Yeah, but we had different classes. I don't know what you read in yours.
All right. Well,
I think mine was sophomore.
Okay.
Sophomore year.
Well, anyway, it's been a while since I've actually read the story, so I was kind of going into it, not necessarily blind, but with no memory of the story. So, yes, blind, the very definition of it. No, that's not the very definition of blind. I don't know what I'm fucking talking about. Brave New World. They take some liberties with the story and have, cameras in their eye and stuff when it comes to, like heads-up displays and stuff like that. They add some actual futuristic technology. But for the most part, they've been adapting it. They look like they're adapting it 1-to-1, from what I've been told. Visually, it looks great. There's a huge budget behind this. I think Peacock is definitely trying to use this as kind of a flagship to entice users to sign up for Peacock. Although
using that NBC money.
Yeah, I haven't been hearing really anything about it necessarily. Can you look up the score for this as well?
Yeah.
Just the Rotten Tomatoes.
I think it's been pretty well received.
I'm pretty sure the entire series is out now on Peacock, right?
I think.
Okay, well, from what I saw on episode
that's never a good sign when the book is still the first thing that shows up for your new TV show.
Maybe don't name your streaming service something as ubiquitous as Peacock.
Let's see. There we go.
Innocuous.
TV.
Random word.
Okay. Ooh, nope, never mind.
With a pretty low score.
This fucking Google review is killing me, man. 7.1 on IMDb, 41% on Rotten Tomatoes, and then 92% on Google.
Those 2 brothers really fucking love Brave New World.
I'm fucking losing my shit over this, man.
You gotta let it go. You gotta let Google go, alright? Google go, alright?
Oh, gosh.
And that's pretty much all that I watched. There was some other stuff that, I continue to watch sitcoms and stuff like that, but that's, neither here nor there. Let's dive into the news. We have a lot of news.
We do have a lot of news. I am going to start on a somber note, unfortunately.
Right.
I don't normally do this. I try to generally keep this sort of thing out of the news docket, just by virtue of, we tend to be a podcast that focuses more on the fun and, enjoyment and that sort of thing. But considering this just happened late last night and the shock of it, I feel like we'd be remiss and to not at least reference it. So unfortunately, as I said late last night, Chadwick Boseman passed away after a 4-year battle with colon cancer. It's very unfortunate. Yeah.
It came as a shock to me because I was just kind of watching a Twitch stream, and all of a sudden I start seeing R.I.P., 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 Wakanda forever, Wakanda forever, Wakanda forever. And your first thought is, of course, of Chadwick Boseman as playing Black Panther, and you're thinking, oh no, what happened?
Yeah. It was pretty similar for me. I was actually playing a game on Steam, and my phone started blowing up with the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a gut punch, man. It just came out of nowhere. And of course, that's by design. He was, very private with that knowledge, and for a reason.
Yeah. For 4 years.
But yeah. So he was doing all the Marvel movies in between then. 21 Bridges, The Five Bloods, like what a fucking boss, man. Like to be able to do all that plus the media tours that he was doing.
Yeah.
It's nothing short of astonishing. And to lose a talent like that when you just sit and think about all the stuff that could have been, and also what he stood for, and in those roles that he picked and played, it's just a monumental loss.
Yeah. Not only do we at Lights Camera Nonsense recommend every single movie that he's in, 42,
Get on up, 21 Bridges, Marshall,
of course, Black Panther, and all of the Marvel movies that he's involved in, all fantastic performances by him. Seeing not a lot of actors, or at least not a lot of people of Hollywood, blow up like my Twitter feed or Facebook wall when it comes to the impact that they leave in the world. But seeing pictures of him visiting children diagnosed with cancer in the hospital, and not realizing until this moment that he himself had cancer and was visiting these young children is nothing short of amazing. I was... Yeah. I don't want to say full-blown, like, bawling my eyes out, but I was literally crying the other night because I was just reading people's responses to hearing the news. People that I follow, that I look up to, being absolutely devastated. DC, every single movie studio that I follow, of course, shouted out to this actor who made an impact on Hollywood at large. And it's just, it's a fucking damn shame because he was just getting started.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I was the same way, I said it before, but it was like a literal gut punch, and I didn't really do anything for the rest of the night. I just kind of sat,
I had to watch something
and that's coming from someone like I'm just a white film nerd / comic book fan, who thoroughly enjoyed this guy's performances, and I understood what he represented in those roles, but that's not me up on the screen, and I can only imagine what that representation, how important that was for the people that truly needed it and needed to see that, and what they're going through. It's just seriously just a loss of a light in the industry. And
exactly.
Yeah.
Fuck 2020, man.
Yeah, fuck 2020. But we just got to keep chugging on and hope it gets better. Remember, and go watch a Boseman movie, man, because you can't go wrong.
You seriously can't.
Yeah. But I'll move on to the rest of the news. Try to bring it up a little bit, but
please.
So, starting off, a lot of news dropping out of DC Fandom.
Yeah.
Is that how it's pronounced? Yeah. Is it Fandom?
Fandom.
I didn't actually watch the thing, so I don't know.
I did.
Oh, you did watch it?
Yep. Yeah, I did.
Did you watch the whole thing?
No.
Pop in every now and then?
I popped in and out.
Okay.
Like I popped in for the actual footage of stuff that they were trying to show. So. Gotcha.
So yeah, a lot of stuff. First up, the title for Shazam 2 has been officially announced. It is Shazam Fury of the Gods. So,
Don't. You're gonna skip over it. You're gonna skip over the fact that Sinbad is in this movie. You were gonna jump past it. You're gonna be like, it's not really news, so let's just like the title's more important. But Sinbad is in this fucking movie.
You don't know if he's gonna be in that movie.
He's on the fucking poster.
Is he?
Yeah. The little mock-up poster that they have.
I thought it was a joke.
I mean, it could be
because it's like Kazam, you know.
But
the Shaquille O'Neal movie.
Yes. Jingle all the way.
Yeah, Sinbad the Entertainer did come out during that announcement and kind of play off that. I don't know if he's in the movie, but fuck, I'll watch anything with Sinbad in it. There's a reason why I enjoy Jingle All the Way, and it's not fucking
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Turbo Man.
Okay. Well, that's clearly the best we're going to get out of DC fandom. We could walk away now.
Yes. Some news about the Flash movie also came out, and that it was previously stated that this is probably going to follow the events of the Flashpoint comic, in which it's Barry Allen, right?
Yep.
It's that Flash.
Yes.
It's hard to keep track of all the Flashes. Which one? So is Ezra Miller Barry Allen?
Yes.
Okay.
The normal
So
Flash.
Barry.
Yes.
Yeah. Barry goes back or tries to go back in time to save his mother, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and then he ends up kind of fucking up the multiverse, and that's where you get like Thomas Wayne being a evil Batman and Martha Wayne being the Joker because Bruce ended up dying in that shooting instead of them, and a bunch of shit goes off.
Yeah.
So off that premise, we have had I don't want to say confirmation of Keaton quite yet, because I think it's still kind of like rumblings he might be, but Michael Keaton is supposed to be reprising his role as the as Batman, as well as Ben Affleck has actually been confirmed to be reprising his role as well. So now we have the
as well as Henry Cavill, right? Were you getting to that? Wasn't he confirmed for it?
Was he?
Pretty sure.
It might have been a while ago.
Are you looking it up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Henry Cavill Flash movie.
Unless I'm thinking of a different movie that they confirmed Henry Cavill, or I'm confusing Henry Cavill with the news of Ben Affleck.
So take this with a pinch of salt, because the first result to come up is we got this covered, which has been known to be a little
sensational.
Play a little fast and loose with its news. But it does say that it may feature Superman, but not Henry Cavill. So,
okay.
I think that's where we're at.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like they're for sure staring into the whole multiverse thing with Flashpoint
rebooting,
which then steers into during another, or I think the same panel, in which a DC exec confirmed that they are now approaching all DC movie TV properties as part of the same multiverse. So even Joaquin's Joker, he's still in the... Like, they were kind of doing this weird thing where it's like, oh no, these single movies are like off branches and not part of the whole thing. They don't count. But now it's like...
the worlds of DC.
Well, yeah, we're doing the multiverse thing, which I don't know why they just didn't say that in the first place, because it would have had literally the same effect.
Yeah. The movie's still shit. Not Joker, but like the other ones.
Yeah.
Just retconning and shit like that.
So, hold on, I was making sure I got this. So then up next, a trailer, I guess, for the Suicide Squad dropped.
Yeah.
In which it listed a shit ton of fucking
people
people that are going to appear in this movie, which I don't know if that might be a little too much, but let me get the list here.
I can give you a handful of names that would definitely die during the course of that movie.
Well, Nathan Fillion for sure.
Nathan Fillion is definitely dying.
He's there
Absolutely.
to die.
Flula Borg is probably going to die. some of the characters that you can just tell like they have nothing to add, you know.
Yeah, so we got Michael Rooker as Savant, Pete Davidson as Blackguard, Peter Capaldi as the Thinker, Nathan Fillion as TDK, which it's been rumored that he's basically a detachable man or detachable arm man.
It's arm fall off boy is who they're thinking
guy,
about basing him off of that.
Sean Gunn as Weasel, Steve Agee, is that
Steve Agee, yeah. Outside Dave from New Girl
as King Shark.
He's doing the mocap for it. He's not doing the voice. They haven't announced the voices.
Yeah, both Weasel and King Shark are doing mocap. But like Sean Gunn, I would imagine is probably going to be doing the voice of Weasel.
Yeah.
So that's what makes me think it's the same.
I think because they differentiated,
King Shark.
They brought up the fact that he was being mocapped by Steve Agee, but not doing the voice. Yeah. But they said Sean Gunn is Weasel. So.
Gotcha. Daniela Melchior is Ratcatcher 2.
Yes.
David
Dasmalchian?
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
He's in the Dark Knight, and he was in Ant-Man 1 and 2.
Polka Dot Man,
yes.
is who he's playing. Joel Kinnaman is returning as Rick Flag. Jai Courtney is returning as Captain Boomerang. Viola Davis returning as Amanda Waller. John Cena is Peacemaker, which when he showed up, I was like, what the
Oh, you forgot he was in this?
That is out of left field.
Yeah.
No. When I saw the trailer, I don't think it was announced that he was in it.
Yeah, he was in it. It was announced.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Then I completely forgot.
Yeah. It's all right.
Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, and then probably the biggest news from the movie is that Idris Elba would be playing Bloodsport.
Yeah, who shot Superman.
Right.
And you forgot Mongal.
Yes, Mailing NG. I don't know how you would pronounce that.
Mm? Yeah, it's It's Vietnamese. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, she's playing Mong.
Yeah.
Is it Mongal?
Mongal. I think it's a female version of Mongol.
It's a play Mongol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see. Okay. We'll see the connection there. A lot of liberties being taken when it comes to this movie. A lot of characters.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I have no connection to Suicide Squad whatsoever.
I think DC saw what Marvel did to James Gunn after the whole Twitter controversy, and they're like, you know what? Hey, James Gunn, if you come over here and do Suicide Squad, we'll just like, well, you do whatever.
I mean, that is what
Hands off.
basically what happened. Yeah. So there's that. Black Adam also showed off like a kind of trailer, like stop motion trailer.
Yeah.
And then it was confirmed that he would be facing off against the Justice Society of America, or the JSA, which includes Hawkman, Dr. Fate, and Cyclone of Note.
You said
Dr. Fate?
Sorry, you said Hawkman, and I'm like, yeah. Louis Hawkman grew up in Colombia.
Hawkman. Whatever about Hawkman.
Yeah.
I am super down for Dr. Fate, though.
Yeah.
Because I love that mystical shit. So if I can get more of that, I'm all for it.
I'm putting that. I love that mystical shit. Zach Smith.
Yes.
2020.
Yeah. Let's see what else. It was as a kind of an offshoot of this announcement about Milestone Comics kind of returning. It was also mentioned that a Static Shock movie could possibly in development.
Cool.
And that is probably the most exciting news I got out of DC fandom that wasn't a trailer.
Really?
Yeah, I was super into Static Shock when it was on WB, so
yeah,
all for that. Yes, give me some Virgil, please.
There you go. That'd be cool. He's an interesting character.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got here. Sorry, there's just a lot of DC news. Obviously,
we should speed through it.
We have one more, but I want to make sure that there's nothing other like kind of minor before talking about it. New Wonder Woman trailer dropped. I was kind of whatever about that. Showed off Cheetah. Oh, okay, yeah. So it was confirmed that the Snyder Cut version of Justice League will now be a mini series of sorts, with it comprising of 4 1-hour-long episodes.
Yeah.
It was also said that it would be available to watch like in just one long stretch as well, like a movie format. So if you're looking forward to the Snyder Cut, there is some news for you on that.
It's kind of get the best of both worlds. You get either option, you know.
I'm still debating whether or not I need to. I not need to, because I don't need to do anything.
The original. Well, you need to breathe and you need to eat and.
I don't need to do anything in relation to Justice League as a way. If I should watch
the original
Whedon cut to kind of understand and get all these changes and fixes that are happening.
You kind of also have to watch Batman v Superman because
obviously,
Batman v Superman,
which is why I have not pulled the trigger on Batman v Superman, because if I do, that means I will be watching Justice League to then watch the Snyder Cut.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man, we'll make a weekend of it. We will literally cancel all plans. We'll do. Hey, our birthdays are coming up. That's
very true.
I will bring up a 24 pack and we'll fucking do it, even though it's the Halloween month.
We drank for your birthday last year, so why not do it?
Why
again?
not have a more legitimate reason to get drunk than to watch really shitty superhero movies?
Yes. And then last up would be the Batman trailer. Dropping.
The best part, honestly, the highlight for me for fandom. And of course, they leave it for the last thing.
Yes. Well, they know.
Yeah, they know.
Of course, they know.
What did you think of the trailer?
Yeah. So I'm very interested. I was already pretty interested beforehand, but I like the look. Definitely down with this like grittier version of Batman that Matt Reeves is. What are you shaking your head
I'm shaking my head because, like, I love how people are kind of just in this weird cycle of, like, oh, I love this gritty Batman, and then they're like, oh, I hate this gritty Batman.
You're
and then they get this colorful Batman, and it's just...
You're conflating what I like with what everybody has been screaming about.
No.
Because
sorry, go ahead.
I prefer my Batman dark.
Yeah,
I like that.
You like your nights dark.
Yes. I do think there's like a good middle ground between like Nolan Batman and animated series. Like animated series is like the perfect Batman, I feel like, where it's like got this good bit of camp, but it's still like kind of dour a little bit. It's fucking Batman.
Yeah.
It's got to be dark, right? And yeah, there's Adam West, and it's goofy, and you can like that too. There's plenty to like there. But generally, this is how I like my Batman. Yeah. I like this kind of daredevil direction that Matt Reeves is taking, and I'm here for it. Yeah.
So one thing to note, it's only like a quarter of the way done filming. Like there's not even a lot of post-production.
It hasn't resumed yet, the production.
So that's why it's 2021 it's rumored October, but we will have to wait and see. It could even be pushed back another year. We haven't really gotten into it, and I don't know if you have a lot of the dates recently, but they've been pushing back movies that have already been delayed a whole year to a whole other year. So there's always
Paramount is on the docket. They basically pushed their entire catalog back.
So there's always the possibility of it getting pushed back again because did you hear the news story about the first person to get reinfected in the U.S. was the other day?
I did not. Yeah. No.
So there was already the reinfection in China of a man who had been obviously infected and then reinfected once he got better. So, hey, the world is still a shitty place in 2020. For the rest of it, just assume that we're fucked.
Yes.
So, I really like the trailer. Like I said, for what we saw of the 25% films, you get a very Seven vibe. You get a very David Fincher-esque look to it. Really interested to see where they take a lot of these characters. The cast is stacked, so I'm in.
Yeah, I'm here for Jeffrey Wright as Commissioner Gordon. Yeah. All down for that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, we're not going to see a lot of these for a while.
I'm sorry. So. I'm sorry that you were displeased with my preference, my Batman preference.
No. I was just
Now, granted, I will say, I don't think Superman should be gritty.
No, I was saying like the whole cyclical nature of how people overall on the internet are like, oh, I like this character should be dark, and then once they get that amount of character to be dark, they're like, oh, he's too dark, or I'm sick of him being dark,
Sapphire,
and then it, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
yeah, there's always a tug and pull, and people want what they don't have. And...
Tug and pull, eh? Moving on to the next news.
So I believe that's it for DC fandom. So now we're just going to go into normal
normie news.
First up being there are a couple reboots in the works.
Oh yeah,
which of course there are. There always are, right? Starting with apparently. Oh, hold on,
is your phone dying?
My Safari. My Safari is like. Fucking up.
Classic Apple.
So I gotta close it and reopen. Hold on. I gotta pull it back up and okay, so starting with apparently there is now gonna be a Planes, Trains and Automobiles remake starring Will Smith and Kevin Hart.
Oh, never mind. Now I'm good. That's it. That's all I have to add. I'm good.
I think I'm getting some sort of I think I'm getting some sort of delay because you're like moving your mouth and it's just silent.
What?
Yeah. I'm not getting any of that.
Can you hear me? How are professional podcast? All right. No, I leaned back and said I'm out. For the audio listeners, I'm sorry for the quality of this, but we've had a rough month. So, why Kevin Hart? Let's think this through. Puts butts in seats. It's a well-known film.
You could literally say that about both of the leads.
Yeah, but why Kevin Hart?
Will Smith's gonna put butts in seats no matter what, man.
Yeah, but
like people don't care if he did Gemini Man.
He hasn't been having a good. No, like his last good chunk of movies have not been great.
I guarantee you. There's still a large portion of people who see Will Smith and go,
Fresh Prince.
I'm gonna see it.
Okay. They're both fucking YouTubers now, so sure, why not? Why not pull from the large pool of great African American actors who can be great comedians? I think, you know what? Fucking gender bend this thing, and bring females into this movie. You don't think that we can have a good Kristen Wiig and what's her name from The Guilt Trip? Tiffany Haddish. Bring them into the mix. Fucking Melissa McCarthy. No, people will not.
I don't know what tangent you're going on or what point you're trying to make, but sure.
Why Kevin Hart, man? He's not funny. I'm sorry. I don't think he's funny.
All right, well,
and he's a small, spiteful
he
man.
Makes a shit ton of money, so
I guess, yeah. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. It's a weird pick to reboot, but those aren't two pillows, That's a horrible quote to pull from that movie.
It's an interesting quote.
I can't wait for Kevin Hart to say that. Yeah, that's great. Those aren't two pillows.
And then also in reboot or remake news, it has been reported that The Exorcist is apparently being aimed at for a 2021 reboot from Morgan Creek Entertainment.
So
I'm trying to see what else the studio has done.
I think what they'll probably do, this is just a guess, I have no information towards it. I don't have any information towards anything.
There is no other info for it, other than it has been in the
No,
works.
but like insider information, I wouldn't have any because I never do. I don't have any normal information in my head.
That's fair. You're not an insider?
Yeah, I'm not an insider, sorry.
You're not coming from inside the house?
I'm always in the house. That's it.
Weird flex, but okay.
I never go out. I'm pale as fuck. No, I think what they'll probably do with this Exorcist remake is kind of do subtle nods towards the original. I don't think they will just like fully reboot the original. They might just do like a Evil Dead 2013 remake kind of thing.
Yeah, that's one way to look at it. Yeah. I don't know.
Where it's the same story, different characters.
It says reboot, so I don't know.
Reboot doesn't necessarily mean remake. So,
yeah, I guess that's true. What?
You're like, I guess it's true. Mr.
Sorry to not be contrarian. I don't know.
Uppity, I mean.
Do you want me to fight you on this one?
Always.
Okay, all right. I'll work on it. And then in other news, this one got me. There's a Powerpuff Girls live-action television show in the works for CW, in which the premise is, as reported by Variety, the disillusioned 20-somethings, this is quoted verbatim, by the way.
Yeah.
Disillusioned 20-somethings who resent having lost their childhood to crime fighting agree to reunite now that the world needs them more than ever.
It's Riverdale. It's Riverdale with 3 superpower girls. It's Riverdale.
Oh yeah, it's Riverdale.
It's gonna be done exactly like Riverdale, and I'm all in. I'm all in for this stupid shit. I can't wait for a fucking live action Mojo Jojo to like give him shit and be like, I'm trying to think of other characters. Is him technically?
Him?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that was the creepiest part of the show.
That'll be interesting to see how they do that one.
Lobster claw hands.
That was a little.
Oh yeah, considering how inappropriate that is now in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, fuck you, Professor. I'm a teenager now. I just want to graduate high school.
I can't wait to see Blossom doing like a line of heroin or something.
Jesus, why Blossom?
Because obviously, like,
it would clearly be Buttercup.
You know,
it would be Buttercup that is the.
No. Buttercup is actually the one who's going to be like okay, right? Like she's living on her own. She's in a punk rock band, or living in the city with
nobody in a punk rock band in
like,
2020 is doing okay.
Compared to doing a line of heroin with crack.
You don't do a line of fucking. I hate this podcast. And I love this show, and I hate this show, and I need it right now. Or at least...
Bubbles is... What is Bubbles doing? Blossom's
she's clearly a hooker.
Drugs.
Bubbles is a hooker. Or something.
No. She's... What is she doing? She's like... doing fentanyl, I guess? I don't know.
Why is it always drugs with you? Like, clearly, down on their luck superheroes who are disillusioned and just want to get past their childhood crime fighting days. They have to do fentanyl.
I'm thinking of the Hancock version of Powerpuff Girls.
Okay. Well, I was thinking more Riverdale-esque, and clearly, or this doesn't need to exist.
Blossom has a YouTube channel that only pulls in like 20 viewers a week.
That's somehow more evil than the fucking doing lines of heroin. Let's move past this.
But she keeps trying.
Why are you?
And I'm not...
Why are you equating a fictional cartoon character growing up being disillusioned and just sick of her childhood crime fighting days and comparing that to our YouTube channel?
To our lives?
To our lives.
Yes. Look, I'm just going off the press release, all right? It says disillusioned. These are the conclusions I draw.
Sure.
A Nutty Professor reboot is apparently in the works from the writer behind Zodiac and Amazing Spider-Man, James Vanderbilt.
Okay.
Which, if you don't remember the Nutty Professor, that's all right.
Are you talking about the original, or are you talking about the Eddie Murphy version?
Both.
Okay.
I actually never saw the original because that face weirds me out.
Jerry Lewis? I mean, I don't know.
In the movie context, that weirds me out. I don't know.
With the fake teeth and everything, it's very disorienting.
Yes, yeah.
But it's of the time, I guess.
Yeah. Wow. So is
the Eddie Murphy version for sure,
so.
Which even had a spinoff that I don't appreciate.
Yeah,
Wait, spinoff or sequel? I can't remember if it was.
It had a sequel.
Okay, was the Clumps? Okay, it was a sequel. It wasn't a spinoff. I thought it was a totally it's the whole thing. But the fact that it even got a sequel.
Yeah.
Fucking Eddie Murphy in the 90s.
So there's that. Moving on, the Duffer Brothers have confirmed that the next season of Stranger Things, season 4, will not be the final one. So confirming what pretty much everyone knew, they will just keep
going,
keep pumping those
they
out.
will. Yeah, it's Netflix's flagship at this point.
Yep.
They actually threw out an open casting.
Well, they have to
too,
like they. Yeah. I mean, they have to invest in this, right? Because it's the one that pulls in the most views of their original content, and they keep canceling all of their other original content. So,
yeah.
Which, segueing into that, both the Patriot Act with Hassan Minhaj and our Altered Carbon have been canceled.
So pissed. So mad.
Yeah.
They still had a whole other book to adapt.
Interesting with Altered Carbon that they are not giving it like a final season to wrap up, kind of the way they're doing with Sabrina. Because I was under the impression that pulled in pretty steady views, but I guess I don't know how season 2 did.
Not as well as season 1, and I think it was such a difference in numbers that it probably justified their reason. They did have a spin-off CG animated film, and each of these, the trick is, and if you haven't watched the show, I'm not going to summarize the whole thing, but basically, people's like your conscience is in like a fucking USB drive that you put in your neck, and
like that thing that Elon Musk just demoed on.
Like he saw the show and he's like, yeah, let's do that.
Yes, I can do that.
But basically, you can have multiple bodies, and so season 1 takes place in one body, Joel Kinnaman, and the second season takes place in another body, Anthony Mackie. And the whole thing was that they were going to keep doing that with Takashi Kovacs's character, Kovacs. And keep doing that with new actors and stuff like that. And that was kind of cool. And it kind of made it more of an anthology series because it follows different cases in each season as well. So they can, in a way, justify ending that story because the main arc kind of ended in season 2. So still upset, still mad because I love I love a good cyberpunk story, but whatever. Ugh. Fuck 2020.
Yeah. Big bummer. And then moving on from that, again in reboot or remake news, there is reportedly a Haunted Mansion movie in the works from Disney, from the Ghostbusters remake writer on the script.
Great.
Katie Dippold.
Great. Awesome.
Never saw that Ghostbusters remake.
Yeah, because you're smart and you know better. Well, you think you're better than me because you didn't see a movie? Because you didn't see Ghostbusters 2016?
I mean, I guess you're the one who's telling me that.
You think you're so cool because you didn't watch the all-female Ghostbusters movie. Well, it was shit, and you're better off having not seen it. I'm not excited about this, honestly. How much are they expecting to get out of this remake? Like, because I don't even remember anything about the Eddie Murphy. We can't get away from Eddie Murphy. Haunted Mansion.
He's everywhere.
Yeah, he's back.
I could tell you it wasn't good.
Yeah, I remember the CGI being really shit.
I watched it once. It was he and his family move into the Haunted Mansion, and they're dealing with ghosts. It's pretty much what I remember.
It was the very exact same premise as Casper.
Actually, you're not wrong. I don't know. It was kind of a weird one. I did not know this, but did you know that Del Toro was interested in doing a Haunted Mansion movie?
But he already did one.
Had no idea.
He already did one. He did Crimson Peak. So, come on.
Yeah, except that one flopped because the marketing fucked it over.
Well, he has an Academy Award and we don't. So, who are we to judge?
I wasn't judging the movie itself. I was judging the marketing plan.
I mean, you can blame the marketing team. They have their own award season. I guarantee you they didn't win one for that. So
their award season is the paycheck that they get.
No, there's marketing awards, right? We have a friend who's in marketing who should tell us that, although it's for a different fucking industry. But whatever, let's move on.
So the cross section is not actually a thing.
Just fucking go with it, man. Go with the flow. I don't know what... Come on, man.
I am
talking
Flow. That's my middle name, Zach Flo Smith.
Eddie Murphy, fucking Haunted Mansion Flo. Just do it. This whole episode's a mess.
The CBS All Access version of The Stand has revealed its premiere date, which is December 17th, 2020.
Yes, this year. Cool. All right. Fuck, I need to sign up for CBS All Access.
Yeah, maybe this will be the thing that makes me... Actually, I've never used CBS All Access.
There's
ever.
not really a reason to unless you're a big Star Trek fan. Like, they just came out with their new Star Trek Lower Decks series, which is an animated adult show.
That one does look pretty fun. I've almost jumped on that, but I feel like that's one where I would get the most out of it if I had watched Star Trek, which
I don't think you need.
I've seen like TNG reruns on cable or whatever, but that's pretty much it.
I don't think you need to watch all Star Trek, but
well, just in terms of like getting references and like fully, that seems like a thing that's really nice for fans.
Oh, another show I watched. Speaking of animated adult cartoons, I watched Hoops. They came out the other day, starring Jake Johnson and quite a few of the people from New Girl. But it's basically another animated comedy on Netflix, and it stars
like Big Mouth,
kinda. Yeah, it's Jake Johnson saying "fuck" a lot, and it's basically another Big Mouth, BoJack Horseman type of thing where it tries to give you
for family.
Yeah. I laughed a couple. Maybe it's because I like Jake Johnson as an actor, and I think his portrayal of the character is pretty funny. But try out Hoops. Watch an episode of Hoops.
All right.
I mean, I was talking to the audience,
probably
but you'll probably not watch it.
Next up, we got a couple of delays in releases. So first up, the Kingsman,
Yes,
has been pushed to 2021 as a result of the pandemic. That is
sucks.
Still continuing.
That was a movie I was looking forward to
because we can't get our shit together.
Yeah.
And then additionally, Paramount, as I had said before, basically pushed their entire catalog back by a year. Although they did announce the release date for Scream 5, which is going to be January 14th, 2022. In terms of release dates that got pushed back, you have Snake Eyes, which I completely forgot about.
How can you forget about the spin-off movie Snake Eyes from the two previous blockbusters, G.I. Joe, Rise of Cobra, and G.I. Joe, the other one? I forgot the title.
That has been pushed to October 23rd. October 23rd of this year was its original date. Has been pushed back to October 22nd of 2021.
Competing with Batman.
And then additionally, let's see if there's anything else here. There's a Lee Daniels Billie Holiday film that got pushed. A Clifford the Big Red Dog movie has been pushed, which apparently was coming out in November, 2 days before my birthday.
No marketing for it whatsoever, but I think everybody's been pretty distracted recently.
What am I going to do for my birthday now?
Not watch Clifford the Big Red Dog in theaters.
Yeah, now I'm going to have to wait a full year until November 5th, 2021 to see that one. Which is
damn
unfortunate.
shame. For your 30th birthday.
Yeah, there's don't do that. Don't fucking...
Oh, what a milestone. Might as well go celebrate it by watching a big old fucking animated cartoon dog. Animated cartoon. Big ass red dog.
What else do you do with your time?
What else?
Get
drunk and cry.
All right, that's fair.
Right.
So yeah, there's a couple other things, but yeah, basically everything got pushed back. And then last up for news, Raya and the Last Dragon, which was this new Disney animation movie that was on the docket, is getting a major retooling, which isn't that abnormal for animated movies. I think Toy Story 2 went through a huge production rehaul, like over halfway into its original concept, and then they just scrapped it. as well as I think Inside Out went through the same thing. But essentially, they got a new writer and director on board. Let me see where they are. Don Hall. Don Hall, who is behind Moana and Big Hero 6, and Carlos Lopez Estrada, which is behind Blind Spotting, which is an interesting poll. They have both been announced as directors, with the original directors, Paul Briggs and Dean Wellens, still listed as co-directors. And the new screenwriter is Kai or Ki Win, I believe, from She Kills Monsters in Viet Cong.
Huh.
She has also been added to the screenwriter team with she's replacing Adele Lim, who was the writer for Crazy Rich Asians, in the original screenplay. And then the original voice for the main character has been replaced as well. The original VA was Cassie Steele. She has now been replaced by Kelly Marie Tran
from Star Wars.
Yes,
Skywalker.
So yeah, good for her. Still looking forward to that one. But yeah, just a huge overhaul and kind of direction change for that. It sounds like.
Well, that's. I mean, it's always. My opinion on kids' movies is or kids' animated movies, notwithstanding, Disney animated films are always something to look forward to, and as long as they stick with the mantra of don't put it out until we're sure that it's going to be good or a hit or any sort of version of that. Good. I mean, kind of just stick with their plan on this one. Obviously, they had a better idea in mind, and so they want to start from scratch. Sometimes you just have to do that.
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes things just aren't going as well as you would hope, and things aren't clicking. So it's either power through and hope that whatever you do get is enough to break even, or turn out something reasonable, or just if you have enough money, like you do if you are Disney, say fuck it and start over.
Exactly.
And that's it for the news.
That's it for the news. Are you kidding me?
That's
Damn it, Zach. Why do you disappoint me every single time we do a podcast? If people wanted to email us and tell us how disappointed they are in you, how could they email us?
If you wanted to relay your disappointment in me as your son or father, I don't know. I'm old enough to be one, I guess. I'm
sad.
You can email me at lightscameranonsense@gmail.com. And I don't know if we made it clear before, but we will read your email
yes.
on the podcast.
So for those of us, we have never mentioned it in a podcast where we bring up our email. When you email us, we will read it out on the show, whether it be a prompt or a question. Just let us know. And
granted, there are some limitations. You can't send an email and say this word and it's like a bunch of jumbled letters spaced out and it's like
say poopy on the podcast,
a racist epithet or something. Well, no, I would say poopy. I'll say it right now, poopy.
But
I'm not gonna racially discriminate on the podcast or anything like that. You can't trick me. Don't do it.
I mean, you can't trick them. I've done it multiple times over the course of this podcast.
Not like that.
Anyway, make sure to email us at lightscameranonsense@gmail.com and give us your questions, comments, and concerns, and it will be read out on the podcast. Also, if you would like, you can help support us on Patreon at patreon.com/lightscameranonsense. As low as $1 a month, you can help make this small little independent garbage heap a little bit better.
This garbage heap is not owned by Big Pharma.
No. Not Big Garbage? No, they don't own us. They don't know anything.
Garbage.
Like the band Garbage. Or just buying up little independent podcasts and having them speak for their albums or whatever. Is Garbage still doing the thing? Do they still make music?
I don't know.
Email us in and let us know. Lights, camera.
You should ask Buttercup for the new CW Power.
She'll know. She's their new bassist.
She's the only one that's doing okay. The other two are doing fentanyl and heroin.
Emo ska band or whatever. But this has been Lights, Camera, Nonsense, keeping you updated despite our best efforts. Make sure to tune in every 2 weeks for all the latest news, reviews, and what else, Zach? There you go. The little... God damn you. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you... Oh, adorable! Next time.